I got a text from Tom right near the end of practice yesterday, and he said that he had just spoke with Scott Barnes, the AD at Utah State, and that it had a incident in practice where Danny had collapsed, and they had just, at that time, had just flown him from Logan to IMC, and they, were very, very concerned about not just his health, but his life at that time. And so Tom told me that he was in New York at the time and that he was at the Hall of Fame banquet, that he would call me later that night, but that there's a possibility that it could affect the game. And so that's when I first heard.
Were you on board? Were you in agreement that it should be postponed?
No question. If that was what they felt, obviously it's they're the closest to the situation, and they had all the facts, and they knew the situation and how it was unfolding at the time. And so my comment to Tom was, well, let's hope that Danny gets better. Let's hope that he survives and that he gets through this, and that we'll worry about the game another time.
Do you have any idea when it will be played?
The conversation that Stu and I had this morning, that we will begin talks to try to reschedule it once Danny's situation is, I don't know whether the right term, because he's still in critical condition, but a lot of the what we're hearing is that he seems to be doing better, but I don't know exactly what that means, and hopefully that's the case, and he continues to improve, and then then we'll talk about rescheduling the game at that point.
Would you have a preference when? I mean, there are some people that are saying maybe is next week too soon? Is there any window where you could play it?
Next week are finals, and finals I think are pretty, it's a very, very stressful time for our team. So I would probably believe that that's not an option for us.
In all
But
your years
we'll
of,
look forward to it.
sorry.
Go ahead.
In all your years of coaching, have you ever experienced a scare like that with one of your players?
Not in a situation where they've gone down in practice, and the reports that we have from what Stu told me and what some of the assistant coaches have told our guys, that it was I guess scary is probably an understatement, but they really felt like their trainer acted in a spectacular manner and saved his life. And so that's an emotional team thing for the players, emotional thing for the coaches. You have all the unknowns that are involved after he leaves the gym, and even though they got him breathing before he left the gym, you still, I think that that would be a real emotional effect, have a real emotional effect on your team.
What has been your players' reaction to the whole situation?
Well, we sent a text out early in the morning that said the game had been canceled and or postponed, and the situation is was at the request of the Utah State AD, Scott Barnes, to wait until the morning and see how he was doing and see if there were any major differences in his status. And because of that, we request that we didn't make any statement last night because there was still a possibility that the game would be played this morning. After we spoke this morning, and Stu felt like it was the best interest of his group that, we postpone the game to a later date.
No one got anything else?
Can you just, obviously now you have to switch gears with the Utes coming in Saturday, that's gotta be difficult to kind of all of a sudden install a game plan after the other one wasn't used.
Yeah, this is unique for us, and I want to make, the most important thing here isn't our Utah State game tonight, or was supposed to be tonight, or our Utah game on Saturday. I mean, the most important thing here is Danny's health and his family's welfare and well-being, and I've gone through something similar to this, and it affects a lot of people, and so many people I know are entrenched in deep thought and prayer to try to help him and help his family, and that's my biggest concern. And we mentioned that to our players today when we texted them later in the day and told them that we would meet tonight to take care of their studies and get some study hall hours today, and that to keep Danny and his family in their thoughts and prayers, because it's hard to compare a life-threatening situation in a basketball game. And so, but we do obviously know that life goes on, and we'll play Utah on Saturday. And I spent a lot of time today watching Utah film, and it's a much improved team. They're extremely good on the defensive end, very patient offensively. They share the ball really well. Their shot selection is tremendous, and we'll get a chance to watch the game tonight against Boise State, and then prepare for them on Thursday and Friday, and get ready for a game on Saturday. And I think that's kind of where your professional thoughts move on to what's next. But personally, I spend a lot of the day thinking about that family and hoping that everything turns out all right.
Do you know his family? I know he's a returned missionary, so I'm assuming you might. Did you recruit him? Do you know his family?
Our coaches have had conversations with Danny in high school and when he was at junior college, but I've never personally met him. And we talked this morning about some of the interaction that Coach Nashif and Coach Lacombe had with Danny before his mission.
Dave, sorry to step in late, but have you experienced anything like this as a coach with a player as far as a practice?
I can't remember. I know that we've had a lot of over the years as a player and as a coach. Not a lot, but a few incidents where players have been injured and hauled off in a manner where you think, whoa, this could be really serious, and then you find out later that maybe it's not quite as serious, and that they're going to recover. But I don't think I've ever had a player that's gone down, stopped breathing, been resuscitated, right in front of the whole team. And so I can't imagine the feelings that the coaching staff has, that the players have, that the trainers have, that anybody that was involved in a practice would have as they watch that unfold.
Again, sorry if I'm sorry I walked in late, but did Stu reach out to you directly then, or is this administrative more than anything?
Well, Tom and Scott Barnes reached out to Tom, and then Tom had talked to me. I called Stu and left him a message. Told him, that we're thinking about him, and hopefully that Danny's doing all right. And if there's anything that we could do to help on this end, to let us know. Stu sent me a text back that evening. And as of about 11 o'clock at night, the last time I talked to Tom, it was at the request of Scott Barnes that we just wait till the morning to see what we should do with the game, and all of us kind of just, hope that Danny recovers. And then this morning, Stu called me and told me his situation and how he felt and how his team felt, and thought at that time that Danny was doing a little bit better, than what it looked like the night before. And then later today, we received word from Danny's brother, I guess through a statement that he made, that you know, as far as the situation of life and death, it looks like he's taken a really turn for the good. And now hopefully he's just okay. I mean, he's all right, that he can recover and live a healthy life.
Have they traveled down yesterday? Did Stu say that
They never loaded the bus to come down, no.
Anything else? Okay, thank you.
All right, thanks, guys.